Okay, now we have sound? Yes. Okay, well, that all went a little bit alright. Getting the stream started. Suddenly my mouse just gave out and yeah, things weren't working at all. So, bit of a scare, but here we are nonetheless. So here we are for the Winter Series. This race at Daytona. Always some great entertainment, so during the winter. And we're driving a 1971 sports cars over here. Don't have a very big grid so far, but it's yeah, it's a pretty decent mix of Porsches and Ferraris. I'd say we just go out and track and do our laps here. We've lost enough time already. Right, so this championship works as follows. For those who are not aware, we got like 6 races this season during the winter break, and we got a mod which has 10 cars, and we have to use 6 of those. So every race will have a different chassis. Now today we went with the Porsche 91720, which is a bit of a special Porsche. Between the ones you can choose from, you have the K1s, which is more aerodynamic but slower on the top speed. You got the K3, that's more top speed oriented, and you got the 917 LH, or the one with the long tail, which is really for the faster circuits around here. And the 91720 is more of a yeah, it's actually a bit of a test car. It was used for Le Mans, which ran pretty well in itself, but did not finish the race. It is well known for its pink livery. Should have the lowest drag of all the Porsche cars, so that should do as well in the long straights of Daytona. And as far as I checked, as much as the competition is concerned, there's been decent diversity in the vehicles that have been chosen. Okay, let's get a flying lap done here. Pitboard is not ideally positioned. I can't see much of it due to the leaderboard on my left. Really just the vehicle in itself is also a little bit in the way. Alright, so I am looking at not too much competition per se, but I do hope that we can make it to second of my grid. But most of the drivers that are competing today are from the second division of the oAo league, so they are not quite as quick pace wise. We got 3 guys that are in D1 where I'm driving, which are Josh Hammond, Dan Down. And well, we also got Paul McAdam, who is not a regular. He only really drives during the off-season things. But he is so darn quick. I cannot match him at all. Maybe we can do something in the race with the slipstream, but we're going to have to see how we're gonna do this race. But for now we just need to get some laps in, make sure we can get it on the front row. And work our way up from there. Brake at the first black board. A little early on the gearing. This will make the car unstable. Before 200. This lap looks better, but I know I've got my time in the 140s, so still some work to do. Alright, small improvements through the sectors, so it looks like if 140 is up for grabs. Just make sure that the final bit is good. Well, the pace I'm overall pretty happy with. Mind that Paul is still a second away if we get this lap right. Oh, no. clip the grass there. But we can keep going. It's a tricky corner that, really on braking. Okay, I think we can do about three more laps maybe. Can still push out maybe a little bit more because Dan down is a little faster than us at the moment. Look up on the brakes. Improvement on the way. Should be enough to get ahead of Dan. Okay, maybe just a marginal improvement on this lap, but we still have one more. for sector 3 and for their gradual improvements as the fuel decreases, cars getting lighter. Oh, that was just about slided it in there. I think it was that advantageous, but we'll see what the sector time says. Quite significant actually. It was a very bad corner. Oh, no. No, that's it for me. Alright, let's have a little look at the standings here. Alright, so we got 11 cars on the field. We in the end ended up in P2 qualifying. Let's fill up the car for the race. 39 laps it says. I believe it was going to be a rolling start, so we have to take that into account. Alright, everything was fine, and thus with no further ado, I guess we hop on the grid. Green flag up. And we're racing. Paul is driving. Oh my god, look at Dan, how he has a phenomenal start. Paul McCallum and he are driving the long-tail Porsche. So they should have a great advantage at top speed, but they may be a little more unstable. In the corners. Oh my goodness me, Dan is very on the brakes. Somehow it didn't end up worse than it did. Guess that's just on me, not being cautious enough so early in the race. Looking at around the outside, but there's no space to pass. Paul has dropped to fourth, but he's sure to remedy that in the next couple of laps. Oh, Dan is so slow around these corners, and he's just defending, taking the inside line. Alright, let's see how my car holds up on the banking. We are keeping up, that's the good news. he's slightly getting ahead each time. Such is the advantage of the long-tailed Porsche. This car I'm driving is just so much better in the corners, but I can't make much of it. So he's keeping himself very wide. Oh yeah. What he's trying to defend again. Oh damn, you absolute. Oh, there's more incidents going on. I do not really know who hit who, but yeah, it was just very, very clumsy all around. Oh, the frame rates are bad. Okay, what are the standings now? Field has shuffled a bit. Oh, the car is unstable. Paul McAdam has spun. Okay, you've got Bob. Second, Quinton is leading. Den is down in 7th. Two drivers are out of the race from the looks of things, Pepe and Peter. I think something happened in turn 1 between them, I'm not sure what. Oh, Pepe is still going actually. And just Peter, I guess. Down the inside of Bob, he's leaving me the room. Oh, no. Too much speed. Notch the barrier there. I hope the car is not too badly damaged. Yeah, I can really get the car to slow down somehow. Bob also had a little bit of trouble. The sectiion is going very, very slowly. I think he's going to drive into the pits for repairs. Or right behind the tail of Paul. Takes a high line. I'll keep it low. Past Michael in the Ferrari. Okay, back to third again. I think Paul may have lost some power or something. Little tank slapper for Bob there. Yeah, we're just lapping Pepe here. And now we set chase to Quentin. He's having a reasonably healthy lead now. Gap to Quentin now is 7 seconds. A small 7 seconds. Now we had some free space, we can do a little measure on what our pace is relative to Quentin. Just passing my sectiion with a broken engine. I'm gonna say this car doesn't feel quite as comfortable a ride anymore. Okay, but we're catching up to Quentin. Our level's about a second faster than his. So these are hopeful signs. Okay, let's see. Our first signal's rather poor, but we were very late on the brakes there. Keeping it out of the grass. Alright, we were pretty fortunate there. Meanwhile, Paul is also gone by Bob, so we'll have to see what his pace is. Alright, some measurement required now. The gap between Paul and I is now, well, about 6.5. Have to see if he's actually gaining on us or not. I think he's actually catching up to us, but he is spun out again, so don't have to worry too much. He's still in the race though, so to him this is just a little setback. I imagine that the car is quite tough to handle. Oh my goodness me. The balance of this car is so upset. It's difficult to keep it straight around the braking zone here. We're still catching up to Quentin, but his lap times so far are still not too shabby. Still a little bit too far away to get some benefit of the slipstream, but we're almost getting there. The gap behind us remains a pretty constant 10 seconds, so that's perfectly fine. But still no real reason to slow down. The race is still pretty young. I think the mic is picking up something it should not. Okay, Quentin's last level's pretty good. Getting a fairly decent chunk of slipstream right now from the Ferrari, I think. We should have with lap times. And I think it will take just a couple of laps to really to be in striking range. Maybe an overtake. Let the car get a little bit off balance there. Hello Lasse, how are things with you today? The Ferrari looked quite squirmy there. I think he lost some pace. And that's for P1. Yeah, the handling of the sports cars are great. They have lots of power, but they also have very good handling to come with it. Though I should say my car is a little bit of a handful right now because there have been a couple of incidents at the beginning of the race when I was trying to take the lead from Dan down, but he has some questionable defending, if you would ask me. Quentin is right behind me though, so I think we're still gonna juke it out for a little bit. He's keeping him behind me, so he's playing it smart. But yeah, I hope maybe you have some time to join the championship as well, drive a couple of races. I think these cars are great fun to drive. We have a couple of fast circuits, but later in the season we should have a couple more technicals. Will be a good time to try out the 3-liter cars. flat car in front. Looks like John Hammond's. He's not having a lot of luck this race. Michael Lowry also up ahead. Driving a little lower than you expect him to be. I think that Quentin at the moment there, but I couldn't make out of the mirrors what happened. Because there's a leaderboard in the way. I should probably look into getting a virtual mirror to make things a little easier for myself. Let's have a look at what John is driving. I guess that it is the K3, if I had to judge from the rear side of the car. We are roughly around the halfway mark now. Looks like things are smooth sailing from here. Yeah, I'm actually trying to drive it gently. I think I have a little bit of suspension damage due to early incidents. Especially in turn 1, the brakes can get very, very squirmy. So I just want to make sure that I take these corners with as little fuss as possible. Alright, John is letting us through. Oh, may have overcooked a little bit, but we kept it on track. Yep, the gap is also increasing, so there's also not too much incentive to go out and push. I mean, you'd think that, for example, Paul McAdam will be chasing me down quite a lot. I think he is driving the long tilt car along with Dan Down, but although it is like very fast in top speed, which is useful around here at Daytona, it's also of course rather unstable, and I think that makes it actually not the best choice for this circuit. Especially with these unconventional corner profiles Daytona has. Plus, I think he also may have a little bit of damage from what happened earlier in the race. So, but as you said, that's something for the replay post-race. I'm hearing a Ferrari in my rear. I think Quentin has picked up the pace actually. On my last lap was just slow, I don't know. Either way, we can't take things too casually here. Got an additional worry because it seems that Paul has gone by Dan. And this race is far from over. Too much inward. Oh, Quentin's got me. slow car up ahead. Looks like Bob in his Ferrari. Maybe you've picked up some trouble. That better not causing us any trouble. Paul is actually reeling us in at a very fast pace at the moment. Michael in Ferrari Spider. Okay, that lap pushing gave us a little bit of more space to Paul, but we do not know what kind of lap he had just now. We still got 12 laps left, so cannot really be kidding around anymore. Last lap we also made a little bit more of a gap to Paul, so I think if we can keep this pace up, we do not have to be too worried about him. So just Quentin remaining. I don't think I'll be able to shake him off quite. Especially if he keeps having slipstream from me. I think Quentin has gone off. I'm still racing, but I think it just went a little bit wide at turn 1 or something. I think something happened to Paul as well. Suddenly then down is back in third. Yeah, this race has proven to be a little atrocious in that most of us don't seem to have quite a great grasp on the car. Now, of course, this is true, like bigger cars are more difficult to handle. And there's Siggy in the yellow, there's also a Porsche. Well, frankly, not sure which one. I think either the K1 or K3. Ball has dropped quite a long way. My Prebluda says it is the next first car in front of me right now, so yeah, he must have taken a pretty big hit or something. Especially, I thought he would kind of dominate this race or something, but you know, if I just look at what happened throughout the race, and when I look at track position, timings, he certainly did have a lot of moments. Look at the tire marks at the inside. I thought he must be having 3 wheels or something. He's in the pits, he had to repair, so yeah, he had a big crash somewhere. Let's just memorize what happened somewhere around lap 28. I think Dan also had a moment. He's now also in the pits and just a lap down. Let's see, Paul has dropped to 5th. not really sure what the order is now between 3rd, 4th and 5th, because it seems the Paul has overtaken Ziggy again after a pit stop, but it's not really clear right now. The leaderboard says a little bit different, but well, we know the answer in a little bit. We're not far behind. Okay, Paul is 4th now, so he has indeed overtaken Ziggy. Okay, we've got 3 laps remaining. I think this race has pretty much been driven. Quentin has dropped back quite a fair bit. I think he's also a bit betwixt in a duel between the lap cars. In fact, he's pretty much getting passed by the lap cars, so so there's not really too much to worry about those guys behind me. And even if they will catch up, for me I don't think it will matter too much. I just need to carry it through the finish. I think we also have to give quite a lot of props to Quentin, because besides me, he's like the only driver right here that didn't have to pit for damages and stayed in the lead lap with me. And he's also been, he has been a bit of a challenge this race, so I didn't really expect that from him. I think he's like G3 or G4 in, so like the faster drivers in D2. So, you know, I think he's driving a very good race so far. That's to be said. I just hope that for the next 5 races that the grid will be a little bit bigger than it is today. These winter series races have always been, you know, reasonably packed. But I find it a little disappointing if there's like only a half full grid. We see it often enough times in Grand Prix engines that the grid is only half full, like only single figures, and you know it always remains a little bit of a sad sight. Always opening grids getting a little bigger every year. Anyway, last lap I believe. Yeah, more than enough gallons in the tank. We could have gone with like 8 gallons less than what we end up consuming. Okay, maybe 7 gallons. I don't know how much it will be when we cross the line, but yeah, we definitely overfueled the car a little bit. Okay, I think we have taken a checkered flag now. I didn't see him actually, but maybe I just missed him. We'll just carry on just to be sure. Well, I believe the race is run right now. It's a little confusing here at Daytona because the moment the flag is raised is like on the back straight. I don't know if the finish is actually there on where it should be, but so the two guys are also still racing. I don't think they all know for sure as well whether we are done racing. I forgot the lap count too. I think it was 36 or 37. Oh, there's the flagman. There was the flagman, and that was race 1 of the Winter Series. Or do we go to the finish line? Again, I'm not sure. Okay, now we have definitely finished the race. Alright. Let's just park the car here and get out and watch the replay. Yeah, I had problems with the mouse. Alright. So here we are. It's Quentin finishing 9 seconds ahead of me, and the rest has been lapped. Let's go on replay, see what happened at the beginning there. Flash forward a little bit. Okay, so Here I was chasing down Dan. He had a phenomenal start from third. And I tried to overtake him. He was keeping on the inside at a very dumb moment, I must say. And here he gives me a bump. But like early on there, I mean, I was getting on the side here, and then he like moves to the inside again, like I'm not there. Oh, like what happened in the forward there? So there's Hammonds, and Hammonds ran into him. Okay, this was a pretty hectic moment. So I hit Dan there because he was on the middle of the road and couldn't avoid it. Yeah, so that's what happened also. There was a bit of chaos, but yeah, things still went alright. So in the end. Let's see if we can still see some interesting in the chat. Server is done, so that's it for us. Yeah, with that, we have to conclude the race here, and so also the stream. Thank you all for watching. Next week we'll be back. We'll be at Sebring then. But this Tuesday we'll also have a single race instead of two, because the GPL racer season has ended. Therefore we'll only have UK GPL, which will be a race with the Caterhams. Yeah, with that, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you the next time.